Hey folks, it's Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. Well, not really a review. I'm so used to saying that. It's the last video of the Stallone Marathon, and I had a lot of fun doing this. Granted, I know the last couple of videos have been rants, but that's just how it goes. But for the most part, many of Stallone films I enjoy. In fact, many of them I find underrated. And kind of makes sense with Stallone himself, because he's, in essence, an underdog story. Being born with his face being paralyzed and having to work through that, combat that. Rocky, no one would hire him. No one would give him the chance. He had to make his own chance. And yeah, throughout the years, he's had problems with his ego, among other stuff, but we've all had that as well, let's be honest. We've all had that. But for the most part, many of his films I truly love and enjoy. And he's my favorite action star and actor because I do think he can act. Even when I watch a film like Daylight, I watch a film Lock Up, very underrated performance. Great performance in Lock Up. I watched Copland, Rocky Balboa. I mean, these are great performances. And even stuff like Over the Top, Tango and Cash, the Rambo films, he does great in those. I love his persona. I love his strong physicality. Love the look that he has. But I do think he has a good voice for a lot of his characters. And I can see that it's an action star who's also an actor. And I think he does well in both worlds. I really do. And a lot of times he plays underdog characters. And a lot of his films are underdogs. I mean, so many of these films I said were underrated. Over the Top, Tango and Cash, even Demolition Man, Cobra. A lot of them, even when they're hits at the time, nowadays they get looked at and laughed at. Oh, fuck, whatever, fuck. It's like some people think the only good action film at that time was Terminator 2, and that's it. There's only one. It's Die Hard and Terminator 2 and Predator, and that's all there's been. There's the Terminator, Terminator 2, Die Hard, Predator, and there's never been any other good action movies. Put RoboCop on there as well, and Aliens. And I'm like, okay, I love those films too, but there's been more good action films than just, like they said, they'll come with like 10. Those 6, and then they'll add like Lethal Weapon, The Road Warrior, and those are the only good action films. I'm like, no, there's a lot of other good action films, and let alone films, period. I love those action films, and I liked those action films, but there's been other action films as well. And a lot of them are underdog movies that either when it came out, they were flopped, and it's like, well, Stallone can only play Rocky and Rambo. If he tries something else, they don't do well. And that's sad, because a lot of them I enjoy. I love Cobra to death. I love Over the Top. I love Locked Up and Tango and Cash. I enjoyed Oscar. Demolition Man, I think, is underrated as hell. So many more, like I mentioned in my reviews. And I think he does a great job acting. I mean, there's a reason, Rocky, nominated for Academy Award for Best Acting. That's not just for nothing. Copland, he should have been nominated and won an Oscar. He didn't. That's fucked up. And again, Sly, even in his career, he's been an underdog. Which I know is weird because he, at the same time, was the most highly paid actor for a while. But just, people down him. I swear, they made fun of him more than Arnold. They made fun of him more than Bruce Willis. I don't know if it's just one of those things where, well, he started off with Rocky and we were for him, but then he went to these action films, so now we're more against him because he betrayed us. Is that why? Is it because of the way he talks? Which I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, you're making fun of someone who has it's a disability. And that's not a bad word. It's just, that's what it was. Part of your face gets paralyzed. If that's not a disability, I don't know what is. And that's something he had to overcome. Would you make fun of someone who has a disability on their leg, their arm, their eye, their face, like scars? No. Unless I make fun of the, what's the hell that girl's name in Expendables 3, Ronda Rousey and her fat ass mole, but that's not a disability, that's a mole. And it's Ronda Rousey. And it's a joke. But I know that a lot of people talk about Stallone and they joke around with it. I've never have. I've never joked around about that paralysis thing because I just never really, personally, never really found it funny. I mean, other people do. I'm not going to get mad at them, but I just, that's not what I do. Granted, because I'm a fan of the guy, but still, like, even the films I've had not liked, I didn't really go that route because I didn't feel the need to. And I didn't want to. But I think he's an underrated actor. I think he's a great action star. He's done a lot of wonderful films. And for those wondering, for the channel, real quick, after this, I made a commitment to some folks to play some video games. If people don't like that, I apologize. But Dead Space Fear, Last of Us, and Doom 3. People have sent me games. They wanted me to play those. And I think that's the least I can do because they've sent me a bunch of games. And I'm going to follow through with my commitment on those. After that, I don't know. I know this movie's coming out, but I have no interest in wasting my time or money. Alien Covenant, I have no interest in wasting my time or money. Blade Runner, I know there's a new trailer. I didn't see it because I didn't want to be spoiled, since trailers spoil everything. So I avoided the trailer. There's other movies coming out. I don't want to waste my time, let alone money. I say money, well, why don't you watch it online? I don't want to waste my time either. I'd rather be doing this. But, you know, I love Stallone. I wanted to do a marathon for the longest time. I'm glad. I hope people enjoyed. I hope people had fun. If not, I apologize. I wanted to do something for my birthday month. And why not? My favorite actor and action star. So get into my top 10 least favorite and favorite Stallone movies. Actually, I should do this. Well, I might as well start with the least favorite, so turn the switch on. Be like a machine, like a truck. The 10 Stallone films I did not like the most, that I liked the least, I hated the most. Number 1, it's Spy Kids 3. I hate Spy Kids 3. I think that's a piece of shit on every level. It was embarrassing that Stallone was the toy maker. I don't know what the fuck Robert Rodriguez was doing when he makes any of these Spy Kids films. They all suck. And Spy Kids 3 is just the one that has been to have Stallone. I'm like, so the guy who made From Dusk Till Dawn and Desperado and Planet Terror, he finally gets Stallone to be in one of his movies. It has to be for that piece of shit. Spy Kids 3D, really? Fucking sucks. So, Spy Kids 3, just watch the trailer. It shows you how shitty it is. Stallone with all the personalities he had to play, it was just embarrassing. And I saw it in the theater back in the day because, oh, it's Stallone, it's a 3D movie. And I paid for it because I almost fell asleep in the theater. It's a horrendous film. That's always going to be number 1 for the film he's been in. That's the worst. Spy Kids 3D. Number 2 is going to be, I'm going to put Rebel. Just because it's so, Stallone's not bad, horrible in the movie, but it's a very early role for Stallone, and Rebel is just one of those painfully meh movies where you just, oh man, is this over yet? 3, I would put Avenging Angelo. It did not work as romance, and it did not work as comedy. It looked cheap. It was so forgettable, and it was a hard it was hard to sit through. It really was. Stallone wasn't awful. I thought Man with Style was awful. I hated Avenging Angelo. I really did. So, Spy Kids 3, Rebel, and Avenging Angelo are the top 3. After that, I would put, for number 4, I know people say this is way too high and shouldn't be on the list at all, Creed. I'm sorry, Creed is just insulting to me as a Rocky Balboa fan. It really is. It's just insulting to me. I described why in my rant on it, so I'm not going to go much into it. Just Creed made me that upset as a fan of Rocky that that's why it's so up there. Pissed me off more. 5, Grudge Match. Granted, at least I like Stallone and Kim Basinger together, but that's it. Has the most annoying kid I've ever seen. I need butterscotch jelly beans. BJ's. So, number 5 is Grudge Match. Number 6, I will put Escape Plan, because they're just so disappointing with Arnold and Sly together. And it's for a boring as fuck movie that has no thrills, has no action, and it's lame as fuck. Are you kidding me? And then Tango and Cash doesn't get sequels. Cobra doesn't get sequels. Escape Plan is getting 2 sequels. A boring, uneventful film. You have 2 of the biggest action stars side by side. And what do you get out of the movie? Arnold drawing a picture of an ass and telling Jim Caviezel he's in there. Stallone pushing Vinnie Jones downstairs. A bad remake of Lock Up, which that's a very underrated movie. So I hate Escape Plan. I really do. Technically, the ones that piss me off the most, I would put Escape Plan and Creed and Expendables 3 at the tops. But I'm trying to look at it as the only merit I can't give any merits to Spy Kids 3. Stallone is the only kind of merit in Rebel, but still nothing. Avenging Angel, Stallone is kind of the only, but nothing. So that's why they're the top 3. And Creed just, at least with Escape Plan, I do think some of Arnold's stuff with his character was humorous. Which is more I can say for Grudge Match, but I still hated Escape Plan. I forgot what number that was. I think that was 6. Number 7, I would put Driven. It could have been good. Rennie Harlan and Stallone together had some fun car crashes, but also some bad CG. It was a huge mistake to not have Stallone be the star. Not having Stallone be the star was the biggest mistake you could have made. And I did not give a fuck about the rest of the cast. So Driven is horrible. That's 7. 8. 8, I'll put Bullet to the Head, because that should have worked. It should have worked. But it's Walter Hill, the guy who did 48 Hours, and Red Heat, and Southern Comfort, and Stallone, and then it was going to be Thomas Jane, but then you fucked it up, Joel Silver, and then the writing fucked it up as well, because it was a shitty script, and then the movie looked like a shitty, cheap, straight-to-video film that Steven Seagal would make. I've seen better made Jean-Claude Van Damme direct-to-video films. 6 Bullets, The Shepherd, Wake of Death. This was cheap, boring. Stallone was not the problem. Everything else around him was the problem. And that's why that's number 8. Number 9, Expendables 3. At least I like Mel Gibson. At least I like Harrison Ford. But, man, talking about a franchise shooting itself in the foot. It really, really did. So if this was a list of what pissed me off the most, Expendables 3 would be up there. But yeah, Expendables 3 is just, I think when it came out, I said it was Sly's worst film. And believe me, I should be putting it up there. But just, if I compare it to Rebel, at least it has people shooting. Granted, it's boring, but somebody's shooting instead of someone walking, and I can't explain it. But Expendables 3 is definitely, that Escape Plan Bullet's Ahead are the most disappointing Stallone films ever made. I hate Expendables 3. And that's number 9. And number 10, I'd actually put Paradise Alley. I know it's his first directing job, and hey, that's cool. But I did not like that film. At that time he was making movies, I didn't care for the story. I didn't care for the pacing. And the film was just boring to me. It just, for someone to ask me would I ever see Paradise Alley again, I don't know. So that's why it's number 10. As for my favorite Stallone films, the top 2 would go to Cobra and Rambo First Blood Part 2. And turn the switch back on. I love Cobra. I love Rambo First Blood Part 2. I don't know which would be number 1, number 2. I don't know. To this day. I'm thinking maybe Cobra number 1 and Rambo First Blood Part 2 number 2. But then, you know, I think about more than the other way. Just, those are my top 2. Those are my top 2. Number 3 is Cliffhanger. Number 4, Demolition Man. Number 5, Rambo 3. Yes, I love Rambo 3 that much. Number 6, Tango and Cash. Number 7, Over the Top. Yes, I love Over the Top that much. Number 8, Rocky 4, then Rambo 4, and then Copland at number 10. And that's a hard list to make because I don't like leaving out Lockup. I don't like leaving out Daylight or ICU or Rocky 3 or First Blood or Rocky 1, 2 or Balboa. But it's just, it's hard to make a top 10 because there's a lot of Stallone films I enjoy. But as of I'm talking right now, it's Cobra Rambo 2 as the top 2, Cliffhanger, Demolition Man, Rambo 3, Tango and Cash, Over the Top, Rocky 4, Rambo 4, and Copland. So either way, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And thanks for watching. Take care. And stay tuned for more videos. Later.